Well, my fellow skeletons, it's time we go back to the Evil Dead franchise with Evil Dead 2. So, Evil Dead 2 is obviously the sequel to Evil Dead, and it would surprise you on how hard this movie was to get off the ground. See, initially, nobody was interested in doing an Evil Dead 2 and financing it, so Sam decided to do another project, Crime Wave, while waiting to get this film off the ground. Crime Wave did not do well. It bombed pretty hard at the box office, and Sam's career appeared to be stagnant. So, when Dino De Laurentiis approached him and asked him to do a Stephen King movie, Sam Raimi said he needed to focus on Evil Dead 2. De Laurentiis turned around and talked to Stephen King about this, and King's reaction was that De Laurentiis needed to get on Evil Dead 2 stat, as King was a huge fan of the original Evil Dead. De Laurentiis was at first hesitant, then he learned how successful Evil Dead was in the Italian market, and immediately started paying forward for this film. He gave them a budget of $3.5 million. The film was released in 1987 and made about $5.9 million at the box office. A significantly less successful movie than the first one, but still a success nonetheless. Critics and audiences also enjoyed it. Some critics even said it was better than the original, and some audience members to this day still say that this is the best of the original trilogy. What do I think? Well, let's talk about it. First off, Evil Dead 2 retcons the first Evil Dead movie and has Ash going up to the cabin with his girlfriend and no one else, unleashing the demons, then killing his girlfriend, and then subsequently begins where the first movie ended off, which sparks debates among fans and critics today whether or not this is a sequel or a remake. Well, considering Sam Raimi, the man who created both movies, considers this a sequel, we're just going to consider it a sequel and not a remake. That being said, Evil Dead 2 is fantastic. It takes what Evil Dead did and expands upon it, giving us a focus on Ash as he starts to slowly lose his mind. It gives us some physical comedy bits, while also some great psychological horror. He's alone in this cabin for most of the runtime, and it clearly is affecting him, as everything is seemingly against him, as this demon continues to torture and haunt him, just trying to corrupt him. And, at points, succeeds, even corrupting Ash's hand. This is also where we finally get to see Ash slowly becoming the Ash we all know and love. And Bruce Campbell does a fantastic job with physical comedy and physical horror. Obviously, the makeup work and practical effects are still present. This film has a lot going for it. Now, it does have a couple issues. The big one I have is that there is some interludes where we're focusing on the daughter of the archaeologist who read the passages from the Book of Dead as she's coming to the cabin with a colleague of hers. They also encounter some rednecks along the way who can help them get to the cabin. This is really here to give us more victims, and to be honest with you, we didn't need to spend as much time with them. Mind you, this movie's only an hour and 27 minutes, so I'm guessing we needed something to pad the runtime, but it just doesn't work and feels like that we could have just had them meeting the hillbillies or rednecks or whatever you want to call them, and then kept them coming to the cabin. We really didn't need as much interludes as we end up getting with them. But that being said, Evil Dead 2 is still a standout. I really enjoy this movie, and I love watching it over and over again. Surely that means it's my favorite of the Evil Dead franchise, right? No? Look, I love Evil Dead 2, but we haven't talked about my favorite entry. No, that's coming. Anyway, that's my opinion on Evil Dead 2. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this review, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay terrified.